Hi guys, my name is Sam from the Waterford First Responder Group. Today we're going to have a look at the different pieces of equipment that we take with us on our calls, mainly just to, I suppose, show you how they work, what we do with them, and when we use them. It's also to show you, I suppose, where your donations go, because we are fully funded by donations. So anything you do donate does go back into our group, 100% of it, either towards equipment, training, or any other costs that go with running our group. So again, if you can donate, we'd really appreciate it. I'll share the GoFundMe link again on Facebook again and on Instagram. If you could have a look, or even if you can't donate today, if you could share it or add us on Facebook or anything at all, add us on Instagram as well. Comment, like, everything you do helps. But we'll have a look anyway. So I'm going to pop this guy to the side just for a second. He's the main event, but we'll just have a little look at our little response kit. So this contains all the pieces of equipment that don't necessarily come with the AEG. Okay, so we'll pop it open and have a look and see. So first of all, obviously we have our shears. These are used for removing clothing off the patient's chest. Again, not ideal to be popping jumpers off or shirts or anything like that in such a critical situation, so this gives us quick access. We have a pocket face mask, not really used at the moment, just for COVID unfortunately, but it is very simple to use. You simply pop the inside of it up, there's a one-way valve on top, and the rescuer breathes in and pushes air into the patient's lungs. Very effective, very simple piece of kit, and very small and compact and easy to carry with us, so it's a very useful piece of gear. We also have, in this section, we have our razor. So this is for patients who might have a slightly hairy chest. It can interfere with the adhesive that our AED pads use to stick on and can cause a poor connection. So we usually just give it a quick shave before we attach the pads, and it just smooths everything out, makes everything, gives everything a good connection. There's also alcohol wipes in there for just keeping everything clean, and we also have swabs in the back, just maybe for drying off the patient's chest or anything like that, if they're slightly wet or perspiring or anything like that. So we'll pop that back in just for a second. I'll pop it to the side. Let's bring in the main event. So so this is our AED. It's a Radian HR 501 or a Heart Guardian, as they decided to call it. Like, I can see why. But comes in this nice little case, very simple, very compact. It's also very protective of it as well. Protects it against little bumps or anything like that. On top we have a little indicator light. I'll pop it out and show you now. This light is just to tell us, it flashes every couple of seconds, flashes blue, tells us that everything's okay and everything inside is working perfectly, ready for operation. So we'll just pop her out to the side for a second there now. We'll pop it back up there. Inside then our hard case, we have our pads. These pads are good for about 2 years, till 2024. So again, we probably will use them before that, but very simple to use. You simply pull the top off, the connector's inside, the pads are stuck together, you just stick them onto the patient and you're off to the races. So we'll pop that back in for a second when it goes up the case, just put her up there. So our AED, the main event. So this is a beautiful, very simple piece of kit. Very easy to use, very straightforward, very quick as well. And it's super modern, it's brand new more or less. So we'll just pop her open, I'll pop it open here so you can see the whole lot. So attached by magnets, flip it back, everything's in here, everything we need is here. So on the top we have instructions on how to use it. We don't need to use it, thankfully. We do know how to use the AED, but if you didn't, it's very clear on how to use it, and the AED will prompt you using the little flashing lights as we go through the setup. I'll show you in a second now. Just moving down a bit then, as we said, we have our kind of indicator lights, so each one of these will turn on as we go through the steps. Once you have all three on, you're good to go, and it'll start working away, analysing the heart rhythm. Our power button, our information button, this is for running tests on it, everything like that. Our indicator light, again, if everything's fine, it's blue. If it's bad, it's red. Simple as. If there's anything is red, it'll tell us what's wrong. It'll literally speak to us through the speaker on the side. Our pads connector, this is where we plug the pads in. Again, straight in, no questions asked, no problems, no fiddling with anything. It just goes in, click, off you go. This is for selecting then if we have a child or an adult. So children and adults require different shock levels. So for an adult it goes up to 150 joules, and then for a child it goes up to 50 joules. So again, varying levels depending on what person you're working with. Anyone over 8 is classed as an adult for the AED, and then 1 to 7 is a child. So then we obviously have our shock button, the all important one. This will flash red once everything's charged up, as it shows in the picture above. But we'll run through it now. So look, we'll turn it on anyway and have a look. So when I press the power button, the light's going to go green. It's going to run a self-test. We'll get one beep. That'll tell us that everything's fine, it's ready to go. and then the system will start prompting us on what to do. So we'll just have a little listen.
Adult mode. Attach the pads to the patient as the picture shows.
Okay, so we won't get much further past here because we're not going to attach the pads today. We'll just turn her off again for a second. As you saw, the blue light, or the green light came on. It gave us a beep, everything was okay, and it went blue to tell us it's working normally now. It was very quick, as you can see. It automatically just selected adult, because we have it set to adult. So it moves straight on from that step into attach the pads. So again, if you don't know what you're doing, it'll guide you through it, where to put the pads. We already do kind of know where to put them, of course. So we pop the pads on ourselves. We'll probably have the connector in already at this stage. And then it'll move on to the next step. And this is where it'll go to analysing heart rhythm. Takes 8.5 seconds for the system to analyse the heart rhythm. So very quick, very effective. Once it's decided if it is going to shock or not going to shock, if it is going to shock, it'll take another 8 seconds to charge up the full power. Again, depending on the amount of power required for the shock. Which will all be decided by the AD based on the rhythm that it's seen. And as soon as it is ready to shock, we will do the classic everybody clear, and we'll deliver the shock. This will start flashing red and we just hit the button and into compressions we go. So again, very easy, very quick, and very straightforward to use. So it's a brilliant bit of kit. We'll just close her over for a second now, and we'll just jump around to the back. So on the back, I'll spin her around. We have our battery, big battery. It can deliver up to 200 shocks, brand new. This is 2019 when we got the battery, so it's only about halfway through its life. It usually lasts about 4 or 5 years before they need to be replaced. But if you remember from the beginning, the system does run a self-test every couple of hours. I've turned her on. Hang on now. I'll just give her a second to turn her off again.
Adult mode.
Brilliant. So the system does run a self-test every couple of seconds, so you'll see the little flashing blue light. So as soon as it does detect that the battery is low, it will get flashing red light, and the system will start to tell us that the battery is low. It won't stop until we do replace the battery, but obviously we'll be replacing it immediately because it is a bit of kit that we need 24/7. So just the last thing then, if we come to the side, obviously we have our speaker. It's made of rubber, it's nice and bouncy, it won't take any damage if it does sustain a hit or anything like that. But also here we have a little receiver. This is a Bluetooth receiver. So literally this unit has Bluetooth on it. It has a little bit of memory in it, so when we do use the AED and we do set it up onto someone, it stores the ECG patterns, or the heart trace, the heart rhythm. You know, the little squiggly line you see on TV shows. It stores that inside of it every time it analyzes until it's switched off. So that lets us download all the information off, and we can use it. We could use it for training or anything like that, or just to review the call or anything, see how it went or what kind of rhythm the patient was in, all that kind of stuff. Probably more relevant for more advanced practitioners. We're just operating at CF4 level, so it's just an interesting bit of kit. It's very advanced, very modern, but very simple again, which is, I suppose, the main important thing about this bit of kit. That it is simple, it is straightforward to use, and it's very quick, because obviously in that situation you need to be quick. But no, that's pretty much it. This is the main bit of kit that we use on call. This will be something that will be coming out on every show that we go to. But no, absolutely, we'd just like to thank you again for all your donations and all the help you've been giving us on social media, sharing it, talking about us, letting people know that we're here. Again, if you can donate, we'd really appreciate it. Any donations you can give to us would be greatly appreciated. And again, if you can't donate today, if you could even just share our GoFundMe link or any of the posts that we have on Facebook or Instagram, we'd really appreciate it, just to help get the word out there, and let people know that we are here, and we are helping people out, and we're ready to go. But no, thanks very much for coming anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.